I loathe physics. Why? Because of Gojo's infinity. A lot of people wonder how Gojo's infinity really works. Gojo's infinity is supposed to make it impossible for anything to touch him. And the explanation everyone gives sounds pretty convincing. Imagine trying to punch Gojo. Before reaching him, you travel half the distance, then half of what remains, then half again, and again, forever. So you get this sequence. And because you can keep dividing the distance infinitely, you supposedly never reach Gojo. There's just one problem. When you add that infinite sequence, you get 1. Even though there are infinitely many steps, they still cover a single complete distance. So technically, you should reach Gojo, which means infinity needs a better explanation. And this is where it gets interesting. Instead of Gojo infinitely dividing distance, imagine he's changing what distance means around him. Think of space as a ruler. Normally, 1 centimeter looks like this. But as you get closer to Gojo, imagine the ruler physically stretching. 1 centimeter becomes 10 centimeters, then a meter, then 10 meters. But you're still taking the same step. You can represent the idea with this equation. ds is equal to omega x times dx. This equation is a more simplified version of the Riemannian metric, which yeah, this version looks better. The idea is really simple in both versions. In this equation, dx is the step you're trying to take, ds is how big that step feels around Gojo. Omega tells us how much the space around Gojo stretches that step, and as you get closer to him, omega approaches infinity. So imagine these markings getting further and farther and farther apart. Your attack is still moving, just has more and more space to cross. That gives us a much better model for infinity. Now, we have an even bigger problem. Mahavraga managed to cut through it. So how? Imagine Gojo is standing on a sheet of paper. Every normal attack has to travel across the paper to reach him. Infinity can manipulate that journey. Mahavraga adapts and eventually realizes that there is another option. Don't travel across the paper, cut the paper itself. And that small difference changes everything. Mahavraga adapts so that its attack targets the space Gojo occupies rather than simply traveling toward Gojo. And Sukuna sees this. That's what gives him the idea for the world-cutting slash. A normal slash has to move through space toward Gojo. Infinity can interfere with that, but Sukuna changes what he is cutting. Somehow, understanding one anime fight just took us through infinite series, limits, distorted geometry, and discontinuities. And this is why